All right, it looks like we got one more person to let in, and then we'll get started with roll call. 2 more people. All right, looks like that was everyone. Bev, would you like to go ahead and get started with the roll call? Oh no.
I'm sorry, did you ask me?
Yeah, would you like to go ahead and record it?
Yes. Yes, I'm sorry, at first it wouldn't let me unmute. So, Robin?
Here.
Alan?
Here.
Chris?
Here.
Efren?
Here.
Michelle? She might be having the same problem, can't unmute. I see Michelle.
Here.
Oh, great, thanks, now. Michelle. Yes. Stephanie?
Here.
Bev Wolf, here. So all board members are present.
All right, I would like to call this meeting of the Pullman Community Montessori Board to order at 7:38 p.m. tonight. First off, we're take a moment to discuss what we went over yesterday. Basically, we had a chance to meet and confer with legal counsel, as well as financial consultant, and really understand what this process is going to look like so we can make an educated decision for our community and for our school. I know we had, Beth had prepared a letter just kind of going over, what happened in between entering that meeting and leaving that meeting and what really led us to our, where we're at today. Bev, would you like to read that letter or would you like me to read it?
I can read it. Thank you. I am so sad for all of the families, staff, community members, and board members who have fought so hard to keep this school open and were willing to continue the fight. I am so sad for the students who love this school, who will now need to find a new school. I am especially sad for the students and families who really need this alternative school, both now and into the future. I'm also personally really sad. I have put so many hours into PCM, along with former and current board members and staff. PCM was a vision and a dream, and is a need for our community. I thank everyone who has joined us in supporting the school, past and present board members, families, staff, and our partners, especially Gladys and War Charters and Janelle, our interim head of school. We have worked together through many challenges and built a strong community. I'm disappointed in myself. I vowed to fight on through the appeal process, yet here we are. At times like this, the head must rule the heart. After many hours of thought and consultation with legal and financial advisors, our current board members decided that appealing the revocation notice is not in the best interests of our school community. In a nutshell, the commission seem to have made up their mind already. The chance of a successful appeal seems very small. The appeal process will be very costly at a time when funds are low. We have no control over the appeal timeline. We do not want to be in a state of uncertainty throughout the summer and beyond. This would not be good for current staff and families and future enrollment. Even if we successfully appeal the revocation, we do not yet have the Commission's permission to move from a 2 staff per classroom to a 1 staff per classroom model. We know that our 2 staff per classroom model is financially unsustainable. Even if we successfully appeal the revocation decision, our financial situation would be insecure. With razor-thin margins, we could not guarantee that we would have enough money to cover contingencies. This might lead to a mid-year closure, which is worse than closing at the end of this school year. We are so sorry to disappoint those who were counting us to fight the appeal. We are so very, very sorry. Now, let's finish the year strong and celebrate all of the learning and friendship that has occurred this year. My hope is that there will be an opportunity in the future for a new charter school in Pullman. If that opportunity arises, I will be a huge supporter. I hope you will be too, regardless of whether you have school-age children or not. Sincerely, Beverly Wolf.
Thank you, Bev. I think that really does a good job of summing up kind of how we had to come to this decision, and just what the information that we were presented, and what we've been working with. This meeting is going to be rather short. At this point, if I could have a motion from one of the board members on whether to appeal or not.
I move to accept the commission's decision to revoke PCM's charter.
Can I have a second?
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 All opposed? The motion passes unanimously. It was not an easy decision to come to, and I really appreciate the vast amount of support from our staff and our families in the community. We still have a lot of work ahead of us, and we want to make sure we do it right and do right by our families and the people who will be impacted by this. And that's really important. So we will be releasing more information over the next couple of days, and we will be hosting an information night on Monday the 10th at 4 o'clock to go over homeschool opportunities and more details around that. But that'll all be released in our Parent Square messages coming up. As promised, super short. Does anyone have anything else that they would like to bring? Bev?
I'd just like to suggest at this moment that maybe we have a small committee of 3 of our board members who could start the business of, drafting a letter and communicating to our partners. I would really like to personally reach out to people like Letty and, who was our interim head, and Gina, who was our coach on Board and Track. I'm sure they'll sort of hear eventually, but I really would like them to hear it from us. And I also think at the same time, we could also send a letter in to the Daily News and Pullman Radio, because they have been following the story. And again, I would like for our words to be communicated sort of directly to them.
And Bev, those words that you wrote speak for me also. They were very well done. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. I just want to share with you that I went into PCM this afternoon to do my volunteer session in room 211. And when I went in, the room was almost silent. And normally I go in and listen to readers, but instead of having their normal language arts centers for the afternoon, the children were all writing letters and writing memories. And so they were actually doing what I did yesterday evening, which was, take a moment just to write. It can be cathartic.
Yeah.
And I don't want to lose sight of, I want to make sure our students have the opportunity to come together before we part ways. and give our families a chance to network and communicate with each other before the summer happens. So I think it's really important that we coordinate with Kim and the SCC and make sure that we're able to get our end of year celebration done right, and see if we can get some support from our community partners in making that happen, because it's important that we were able to do that.
Yeah.
So I think in having a committee of people who can write letters, we can also look at potentially requesting our community partners to join our celebration and help with, services or gear or products, whatever, in order to help us, kick that off. Because right now we're running on what we got, and I don't know what's left as far as the SEC fundraiser, but I'm pretty sure they used that for the outdoor science school. So food for thought. But as far as forming that committee, Bev, is that something you would like to head?
I would.
And we wanted to just be board members, or would you like to coordinate with our SCC on that?
No, I think that's a good idea to coordinate with the SCC and just invite. Yes, I think that would be really good.
Okay. And then was there anyone who would like to join the committee who's present today? Got Alan. Okay. Can't have more than two. Efren.
Yep.
Okay. So Alan, Efren, and Bev, if you would like to head that effort, and then we can coordinate with Kim and the STC. Is that something we need to take to a vote, or can we just form ad hoc committees?
We can form an ad hoc committee. We're just doing a specific task that has to be taken care of.
Okay.
So Alan and Efren, I'll send you an email, and then maybe we can work together in a Google Drive to draft a letter that we think sums up, our feelings and what we want to communicate to these different people. And then we can start generating a list of who we need to send it out to, and just get on that task.
Now Chris and Robin and Stephanie and Michelle, I was quick to jump in there, but if any of you want to do this, but we can't have four, then just let me know and I'll gladly back off.
I have a whole laundry list full of things I have to work on, so I will communicate where needed, but I personally appreciate input from everyone. So I think this is excellent, and I think it'll be great to have some new input and perspective as well. I've been drafting a lot of letters.
Yeah.
And does anyone have any other comments, feedback, thoughts before we move to adjourn?
I did have one quick thought. I just wanted to make sure to express my deepest gratitude to all of you and everyone else who has supported this school. It has meant the world to me. It's been wonderful watching both of my special small people growing and learning and just blossoming there. And it couldn't have happened without a lot of work from a lot of people. And it's sad that it's coming to an end, but the reality is that it has been a refuge for a lot of students who didn't have that anywhere else. And I'm grateful that it was here while it was.
It definitely helped us form a community, and of Michelle, of your amazing child, you can't close down a community. So it's really going to stick with me. So it has been great. And I think for my first experience on the board, I couldn't have asked for a better board of trustees. So thank you all for everything that you brought and did. I really appreciate it. We still got some work to do, so we're still in it together. But we'll make sure we get those communications out in the next steps, and family events, family planning nights, information nights, working with the district. I want to make sure we take care of everyone going forward. So,
Okay.
more will be announced. Thank you, Chris and Bev and Ellen, for your thoughts. And was there anything else that we would like to bring up?
Just quick, Robin, leadership takes a lot out of you, and you have been an amazing leader, and I hope for the sake of the world that you take that forth and do some more of this. You're damn good at it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you. I do plan on, this inspired me, to make sure I am, more involved and more persistent when I see something that I don't think is quite right, because shame on me for not acting sooner. But, you have this feeling that professionals know what they're doing. However, sometimes outside feedback is good. So I'm taking that lesson and taking it to heart.
Yeah.
Robin, just to confirm, we have 2 meetings coming up in June. They're still on, I think is it the 13th and the 20th?
Yeah, I believe those were in our regular cadence. And I think was one of those going to be a finance committee meeting?
Right, 17th.
Okay. We'll partner with Bill and just see what that looks like going into this process. I don't want to change anything on the calendars yet. We're just going to roll with our current calendar as it is. I don't think we need to schedule any additional meetings at this time. I think it's certainly important to take advantage of the ones that we have scheduled, especially considering we have decisions to make and people to talk to. All right. So at this time, do I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I move to adjourn.
Second?
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 All opposed? Motion passes unanimously. I appreciate everyone's time. I will adjourn this meeting of the Pullman Community Montessori Board of Trustees at 7:54 p.m. tonight. Thank you again so much, and be on the lookout for more communications, and reach out to the board if you have any questions. Thank you. Have a good
Thanks
night.
to all of you.
Have a good night. Thank
Good
you all.
night.
Good night.
Good night.